there's one bullpen that has numbers late to rival the Orioles, this might be it. Have you guys had a chance to notice that at all? Have you seen anything they've done?
Oh, we've heard about it. They have a lot of good arms out there. I think they've gotten a lot of notoriety this year, well deserved. And obviously I'm a little biased, but I think bullpens are certainly a key part to having a good team. And I think they've shown that on their end, and we've shown that on our end. But honestly, most of us are focused on the hitters on the other team most of the time. You're not too concerned with who they're pitching out of the bullpen. So, our focus is on how we're going to get these guys out, and none of those guys are coming to the plate in this series, I don't think.
Very true. Nice media thing, bullpen against bullpen. But how about those hitters? What are some things you see there?
They've got a mix of guys that can hit homers, guys that can bunt and steal and whatnot. So they've got a good balanced lineup. They seem to put up a lineup that's pretty much alternates left-handers and right-handers. So you can't really platoon match up very easily. And obviously they made it this far. They're going to be a challenge for us, but I think we're up to it.
The team seemed very relaxed in that Detroit series. What was it like, just behind the scenes?
I don't know if there's a whole lot relaxing about playing in playoff games, but I think we put that on the exterior and hope it wears off and carries a little bit of weight. But it's just been a blast for me personally. I'm assuming everybody else has enjoyed the heck out of these games, and I think it's only going to get better the further we go.
What was it like, the atmosphere in those two home games?
It was incredible. It was I don't think I've ever played games like with fans involved like that, and saw some really good crowds down the stretch here. But that first round was incredible, and I can only imagine it's going to get better.
Yeah. You got into the sixth inning in one of those games. Is it the same approach now? All hands on deck whenever needed?
Oh, absolutely. If anything, it's going to be even more so the closer and closer we get to our goal. But I think we're all ready for anything, and everybody showed that the first round. So we're just going to try and carry that over.
When you look at this team, a lot of people say that the pitching staffs are kind of similar. Do you see a lot of similarities?
Honestly, I don't know their pitching staffs that well. Their bullpen's gotten a lot of notoriety. I know they've got a lot of really good arms. I've seen that in the past. They put up some. They throw really hard in general. Pretty common occurrence when the guy comes out of the Kansas City bullpen, but. Ultimately, my focus is on their hitters. I haven't done any video work on their bullpen or starting staff or anything, but I'm confident in our staff we've got here. I feel like we've shown that. Any team that's made it this far, though, is going to have all facets of the game down and be pretty good at them. So it doesn't surprise me that they're right there with us, and our goal is to prove we can get their hitters out more than anything.
Their speed, is that a special cause for concern?
I don't know about concern, but it's something we're going to have to handle, just like anything. The last round, you guys want to talk about the Tigers, and everybody talk about Miguel Cabrera and Victor Martinez back to back. It's always going to be something. So we'll have to handle that. If that's their most valuable asset, we're going to be focused on it. I think they've got more to them than just speed. I feel like if all we worry about is how fast they are, they're going to get a lot of hits off of us and score a lot of runs. So they got some pretty good bats in that lineup. There's more to that team than just speed.
A lot of talk today here about JJ, and it's apparent he's got a new deal, which I think is exciting a lot of fans. What does he mean to the team?
Oh gosh, I mean, having a guy like that in the middle of the infield is huge, and he's a great hitter as well. But to me, the most important thing is what he does at shortstop. He's really a lot of fun to watch, and glad I've gotten to play with him. It's been a lot of fun.
He's a quiet guy in his interviews, but I imagine whatever he says within the clubhouse, when reporters aren't there, guys listen.
Oh, absolutely. His voice carries a lot of weight, and I think he's certainly one of the guys in the clubhouse that when something comes up, everybody looks at JJ. What does he think? What's his opinion on it? And he's earned that, and he deserves it. And I'm just happy for him, and he's been key to us, and I think he will be in the future too.